One summer, a number of years ago, I took a class called Introduction to Conflict Engagement. One of the key learning points in the class was the transition from the notion of conflict resolution to embracing the approach of conflict engagement. There's some conflicts that just can't be resolved, but yet we need to find ways to productively be together in the same community, the same family, the same work team, or the same parish. As I read today's gospel from Matthew 5:43 to 48, the concept of conflict engagement came to my mind when I hear Jesus share these words with his disciples. But I say to you, love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your heavenly Father. For he makes the sun rise on the bad and the good, and causes rain to fall on the just and the unjust. This teaching is rather challenging to put into practice. When we're hurt, or shamed, or challenged, or scared, the last thing we want to do is to pray for the person. Perhaps in the moment that's impossible. But as I open my heart to Jesus, I realize through prayer I can heal and learn from those painful situations. There may not be resolution to a conflict, but by praying for the grace to be generous, I can embrace the conflict engagement and learn to live with those that I perceive to be my enemies. Jesus isn't asking us to tolerate hateful words or actions. We don't need to compromise our safety or the safety of those we love. But perhaps we can feel compassion for those we see as the enemy. The spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius offer some practical tips for us to avoid falling into the trap of perpetuating conflict by assuming the negative intent of the other person. We read, "It should be presupposed that every good Christian ought to be more eager to put a good interpretations on a neighbor's statement than to condemn it." Further, if we cannot interpret it favorably, one should ask how the other means it. If that meaning is wrong, then one should correct the person with love. And if that isn't enough, one should search out every appropriate means through which, by understanding the statement in a good way, it may be saved. There's so many opportunities to increase understanding and learn from one another. The love of the enemy that Jesus speaks about might simply be pausing to try to understand where they're coming from. Or perhaps remembering there might be more going on in someone's life than we realize. While we may not agree or accept or understand someone's words or actions, we can always hold them in prayer. That's a good way for us to spend this summer, if you're looking for a way to spend this summer. Have a blessed day.